Hello, welcome back to Go-Gib. Today we will learn the summary of Lady Lazarus by Sylvia Plath. I have done it again, 1 year in every tin, I manage it. A sort of walking miracle, my skin bright as a Nazi lampshade, my right foot. A paperweight, my face a featureless, fine jewel linen. Peel off the napkin, oh my enemy do I terrify. The nose, the eyepiece, the full set of teeth, the sour breath will vanish in a day. Soon, soon the flesh, the grave cave eight will be at home on me. And I am a smiling woman. I am only 30. And like the cat, I have 9 times to die. This is number 3. What a trash. To annihilate each decade. What a million filaments the peanuts crunching crowd shoves into sea. Them unwrap me, hand and foot, the big striped tees, gentlemen, ladies. These are my hands, my knees. I may be skin and bone. Nevertheless, I am the same identical woman. The first time it happened, I was 10. It was an accident. The second time, I meant to last it out and not come back at all. I rocked shut as a she cell. They had call and pick the worms off me like sticky pearls. Dying is an art. Like everything else, I do it exceptionally well. I do it so it feels like hell. I do it so it feels real. I guess you could say I have a call. It's easy enough to do it in a cell. It's easy enough to do it and stay put. It's the theatrical come back in broad day to the same place, the same face, the same brood, amused shout, a miracle that knocks me out. There is a chain, there is a charge for the eyeing of my scars, there is a charge for the hearing of my heart, it really goes. And there is a charge, a very large charge for a word or a touch or a bit of blood or a piece of my hair or my cloth. So her doctor, so her enemy. I am your opus, I am your valuable and the pure gold baby that melts to shriek. I turn and burn. Do you think I underestimate your great concern? Ash, ash, you poke and stir flesh bone. There is nothing there. A cake of soap, a wedding ring, a gold feeling. Her God, her Lucifer, beware, beware. Out of the ash I rise with my red hair and eat men like air. Go through the summary. So let's say the first 4 stanzas. Sylvia Plath is known for her tortured soul. This is what makes her intriguing to readers. Most people have experienced agony at least once. This agony is often so deep there are no words to express the true anguish present. Plath, however, has a way of putting delicate, beautiful words to dark, lonely feelings. The first stanza of Lady Lazarus cannot be properly understood until the entire poem has been read. At first glance, this doesn't have much meaning, but after reading the entire of the Lady Lazarus, readers can gather that Plath is referring to suicide. She admits right off the bat that she has tried to die once every decade of her life. Plath then begins to explain to readers why she has tried to die so many times. She used vivid imagery to compare her own sufferings to that of Jewish people. She compares her skin to a Nazi lampshade. This is significant because of the idea that the Nazi people used the skin of Jews to make lampshades. Plath uses this horrific metaphor to compare her own sufferings to those in Nazi concentration camps. She conveys the heaviness of her pain by comparing her right foot to a paperweight. This imagery helps the reader to understand that Plath's pain was so real that it felt like a physical weight. The paperweight conveys the nature of her emotional pain. The imagery of a fearless face reveals that she doesn't feel any identity. She doesn't feel set apart for any specific or important purpose. She feels like a face lost in the crowd, one that no one would remember. So next stanzas, that is 5 to 7 stanzas. In stanzas 5-7 of Lady Lazarus, Plath describes her face as fine Jew linen. Jew linens were used to wrap the body of Lazarus before they laid him in tomb. Jew linens were also used to wrap Jesus' body before he had laid in the tomb. Plath's reference to the fine Jew linens reaffirms that she already feels dead, or rather, she feels nothing, just as the dead feels nothing. And this inability to feel is precisely what causes her to suffer. Plath continues to use imagery of death to reveal her deepest feelings. When she asks the reader to peel off the napkin, she is challenging to reader to look at her for who she really is. She doesn't believe that anyone would want to really know her, to peer into her soul and really know her. She believes that if people were to do that, they would be terrified. The reason she thinks this way is because she is afraid the people will become aware that although she is alive in flesh, her soul is dead. This is why she continues to use imagery of death and decomposition to describe her. This is the point in Lady Lazarus at which the reader can become aware that Plath identifies not with the risen Lazarus, but with the Lazarus who is dead and has already begun the decomposition process. So, this is why she describes herself as having a prominent nose cavity, eye pits, and teeth. Those features would be most prominent in a decaying body. Plath explains that the sore breath, the putrid smell of death, will soon vanish. She continues to explain the effect that Plath uses this imagery to explain the emptiness and numbness that tortures her soul. She uses the description of physical decomposition to convey the way she feels that her soul is decomposing. Plath then transitions from speaking of herself as an already dead woman to revealing that she is actually alive. However, the tone of Lady Lazarus reveals that she is disappointed at being alive. It becomes obvious that she identifies with death far more than with life. She thinks of herself as a rotting corpse, not the smiling woman of only 30 that she sees when she looks in the mirror. She reveals an obvious disappointment that she has not been able to die when she compares herself to a cat, concluding that it will probably take more attempts to reach death.